To Moonlight Madness. Today we're doing the cards for Earth. Sun, Moon and Rising 2023 August is what we're doing today. Now the first card I've pulled is the Empress card from the deck of the Fairy Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. The next deck we're using today is Work Your Light Oracle Cards Guidebook by Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Danielle Noel. And the third deck we're using is The Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish and artwork by Selena Fennick, who also is an author, I found out recently, so that's interesting. Okay, so the first card we've pulled is the Empress card, which is also the Major Arcana. It's also representative of the Taurus nature. You may be dealing with a Taurus. Hard work pays off. Inventiveness, successful endeavours, a love of luxurious things. You could be birthing a business idea or model. Congrats, you did the hard work. Time to get busy. No perfect strategy or thinking of one. If there is detail missing from your plans, it will reveal itself as you move forward. Creative endeavours are favoured right now. Desire to have children or taking up a new project that you consider to be your baby. Add artistic flair in future. Infuse talks great and small with you and knowledge. Nothing can hold you back, an exciting new endeavour. And what's crossing you is another Major Arcana card, is the Strength card, which is a Leo energy. We are in Leo, we're in August, we're in Leo energy. But we've also got a full moon in Aquarius that we just came across. I think it was on the 1st or the 2nd of August. So that's a Sturgeon moon, and that affects, there's going to be a clash between fire and air. Fire whips up air, air whips up fire. They're not compatible. They are not allies, they are opposites. They're polar opposites, actually. So you've got, apparently they're matched very well, but generally speaking, they don't work long term. They have attraction, they have purpose, they have passion, but long term, they don't work. So what's crossing you is the Strength card. Now, Strength is talking about doing strength training. Don't mistake kindness for weakness, is what it's saying. So it's saying that maybe in the past you were considered very kind and people would think they could take advantage of you. But no, kindness is actually a strength. It also talks about strength training, weight training, being very strong, being resistant, putting up a fight, the grace and inner strength to overcome challenges, the power of kindness, time to embrace how wonderful you are. You are quite a strong character. No one can really push you around. In the past, the recent past, you've got the Prince of Spring. This is to do with Aries, Leo, Sag. He's charming. He's a very charming person, a passionate, a real dish, someone very attractive, very handsome, a passionate relationship, something requiring immediate action, a knight in shining armour, no task too big or too small. They will rush in and take charge of it. Endless optimist, they're charming and courageous, confident, so busy. He wants to see everything, do everything, experience everything. If there is a lull in action, you may find yourself with a very bored prince. You may have met him in the springtime. They can get quite reactive as well. They have bad temper. In the recent past, you have the King of Pentacles. This is Leo, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus energy. In the recent past, you had a person around you, and I've written it the wrong way around, but that's okay because I've just caught up. An earth sign who is charismatic, gifted, compassionate, accomplished person. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything going your way. A generous and compassionate employer. An odd bird, Midas touch in entrepreneur endeavours. His heart turns things to gold. He's out to save the planet. He can manage hundreds of people at once and still take out the recycling while calling in his Congress to give him an earful. Charming to a fault and will help anyone who asks. Hurt an animal and you'll see yourself on the bad side. He's uber busy on the road. He's at the protest march. Don't worry, he'll be back home eventually. He just likes to keep and see his prosperity all around him. Hence why he's surrounded by all this gold and the protection of, he likes to protect his assets, which is why he's got the German Shepherd Alsatian by his feet. In the crowning card is the Four of Wands. This is talking about a celebration. It could be a graduation, a wedding, a baby shower, or a housewarming party. It's a gratitude card. It's a powerful manifesting. It's crowning you. The universe is letting you to gracefully dance with the magical light-footedness of ballerinas, taking time to say thank you to your family, workers, fairies, and creates a circular flow of energy. The more abundance every day to celebrate. Then we've got here your near future is the Seven of Wands. This is standing up for yourself. It's a stand, defending your position, knowing you are right, courage through adversity, taking self-protection or assertive classes, gym, physical strength. Again, with strength card, you got both of those as a strong, action-orientated person. It is a normal and healthy thing to stand up for yourself. Do not allow others to talk you out of your beliefs or opinions. At this time, your thoughts and feelings are about what is the right thing to do, are exactly spot on. Not a time to back down or compromise. However, pay close attention to all that is happening so you can learn from a situation. Don't allow people in power to intimidate you. Assert your rights, sign petitions, call local government, and attend rallies to demonstrate that there is strength in numbers. And then you've got the power or lack of. So that was the near future. The power or lack of is the Nine of Wands. It's your superpower. You have the ability to draw attention to the causes that you believe in for the right of the right of plants, animals, and the animal kingdom. Because of your star status, you may be famous in areas of community, like you may be a psychic medium, teaching other people how to tap into their intuition. So you can draw in a crowd because of your ability to draw attention to yourself. You can draw attention to causes that you believe in. Doing something for the right reasons, preparing for challenging, having a strong immune system, keeping your resolve. Energy out in the world can be pretty intense. Ask God, angels to protect you every morning from other people's negative energies. Peeps, stand up for your environmental issues. Who love animals and plants? Protecting wildlife, oceans, and food sources is part of your ability, is part of your superpower. Having a strong immune system, keeping well, taking a vitamin supplement if you need to. So we've got here the Princess of Spring. This is who's around you. We have Aries, Leo, Sagittarian energy. These people are doing something that expands your horizon. They're taking a light-hearted approach, being fearless, staying focused. The Princess of Wands is fun. She's attractive. She likes to dance. She likes to paint. She likes to sing. She likes acting. She's optimistic. She's flirty. She's very good looking. She attracts lots of attention wherever she goes. Then you've got the next card is the Ace of Pentacles. This is to do with... It's funny today, it makes me laugh actually. I was in line to get some food from Aldi, and I thought I had enough cash, but I didn't in my key card. I was buying some mandarins for my eldest son, and then I realised I didn't have enough money, so I paid for the mandarins and he paid for my wine. But the funny part is the guy that put the sales through was looking at me and looking at him as if to say, are you with him? And I'm like, this is my son. And he was I don't know what he was thinking, but it was just kind of funny because I took it as a compliment, because he blushed because he didn't know how to handle the situation. I was trying to pay for my stuff and his stuff, and then he ended up having to pay for something I was trying to pay for him. But it was just the look on the guy's face. He went bright red. He was embarrassed for us. But anyway, so that was interesting. So we've got here the Ace of Pentacles. We're still talking about the Princess of Wands. Her cup is not half full, it's the cup runneth over. She's enthusiastic, remarkably creative. She exhibits an almost childlike exuberance for life that will floor people, have you smiling, an eager volunteer. Anyone would be lucky to have her on the team. She may be ADHD and has troubles focusing on one thing from a length of time. That would be me. I'm an adult ADHD, just undiagnosed. Easily distracted by the next opportunity and can wander she can be vulnerable before completing a task. She can wander off before completing a task. Ace of Pentacles is money. It's a gift of money. Maybe you're going to get a good tax return, or someone's going to give you the funds to facilitate what you're trying to lift off the ground on live YouTube. Whatever you're trying to do, someone's going to fund what you're doing. they're going to try and come to the party. They are investing in real estate, a very successful venture, giving without expecting anything in return. Changing careers, a windfall of unexpected resources arrives to help you pursue your dreams. The fairies have brought you a gift, wise counsel, physical help with your project, or someone who can introduce you to some very influential people. Invest time on making long-term plans. Then you have the Hermit, which is the last card, and is also very much an earth sign, earth card reading. It usually symbolises a Virgo around you. A Virgo star sign, outcome future, a peaceful break from society, searching for the truth, for enlightenment, reconnecting with God. You are never alone, even if it appears that way. You are surrounded by God, angels, fairies who want to help you. You can ask them for assistance, and anytime they will light your load. They will illuminate your path with a lantern, like in the Hermit. In the picture, he's got a lantern. And isn't the Aquarius the star? So when the star loses its shine, the Hermit comes in, just like the Fool, but the Fool is now wiser. It has captured the star in a box. Try not to let anyone put you in a box. You don't fit into any box. Shine your light on others, and need to be a beacon of light and inspiration for others. Emulate the kind of person you admire so that others may learn from you as well. Time to begin teaching. Maybe you are a spiritual teacher for teaching tarot cards to learn from. Age of Aquarius is now here. This year, this next couple of years, you are going to be teaching others, up and coming fellow readers who need some inspiration, whether they're on the right path, if they're doing the right things. You are going to teach, they're going to learn from your online presence. Don't think your presence is not noticed. Everyone who wants to do what you do, they want to learn how you got there. This card is from the Work Your Light Oracle Cards Guidebook by Rebecca Campbell. It is called The Initiation. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. That can be getting married, having a kid, things like that. Rite of passage, becoming older, being 21, getting your driver's license, a rite of passage. The initiation. My son recently got his driver's license. He was so appreciative. It took longer for him because we had COVID lockdown. So that was a big stalemate for him. But it made him more prepared because he was more mature. So he doesn't run red lights. He doesn't try and accelerate when he's not supposed to because he's got the maturity now. And he passed it because he's got the maturity, I believe. He was meant to get it when he was meant to get it. It wasn't because of anything he did wrong. It was because they were trying to hold him back from getting his license too soon and then possibly being in an accident. The initiation, I always knew that. I've got to find it now because it's not. The Age of Light, the Crumbling, 68, the Initiation. Rite of passage, crossing the threshold. Some of the most sacred initiation chambers and temples look scary from the outside, but are breathtakingly beautiful on the inside. This represents that the journey and the soul pilgrim is required to take to reach somewhere sacred, but only the initiated can enter. Perhaps that's where you are right now. You are being tested, initiated because you are headed somewhere sacred. Initiations require that we cross the threshold from one world or state of being to the next. We are called to face what scares us and have to be willing to lose it all in order to gain a new way of being, of safety, of security, of depth of meaning. Initiations like rites of passage mark the shift from one age to the next and can take place because of emotional turmoil, great loss, grief or devastation, but it is through the seeming hardship that our heart cracks open and our spirit is invested to step forward. We take the sacred voyage into more of who we are and who we came here to be. It can be painful and scary, but once we begin the journey, we can be more ourselves than ever before. If you're in the middle of an initiation right now, you will get through it, and one day soon, you will bless the thing that broke you down and cracked you open, because the world needs you open. You are going somewhere sacred. It will be worth it, and you're closer than you think. Oh, that's really good encouragement for someone who thinks they've lost the battle. You may have lost the battle, but you will win the war. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. As I said to my son today, we come from a long line of Vikings. We trace our ancestry back to the Irish, to Dublin, to where the Book of Kells is hiding the Book of Kells is hiding in the Tower of Kells. 5 roads in, 5 roads out. It was hidden because the Vikings tried to steal the book because they had gold pages. It was a magical book. It's been stored there. It's buried in the heart of the Book of Kells, but it came from Iona. It came from America, and they transported it over here to Dublin to hide it because it's a magical book. And it's worth its weight in gold. It doesn't have a figure to describe it. It's just this magical book that describes the whole history of the whole history. It is like the Akashic records. And so what I'm saying here is that, some things you can't contain. Some things you can't hide from the world because it should be enjoyed by the world. So living in the church, it is blessed by the church, but it is also protected by the church. So everyone can enjoy it and no one can steal it. So it's saying here, you're breaking down some barriers. The birthing of a new age. This is to do with breaking down some barriers. I think people have got old school ideas and you're breaking that down with new school ideas because we're coming to the next generation. We are going to leave behind, hopefully, new ideas with old ideas. 92. You can't do what past people did because you won't get the same result. Often our path is exactly the one that we don't feel prepared to walk it anyway. Often what is rising feels far bigger than we could possibly hold. Be a container for it anyway. Often our creations seem to have a wild, uncontrollable consciousness of their own. Birth them anyway. Often what is yours or ours to do is the very thing that most intimidates us. Be courageous, be fearful, and do it anyway. We're birthing a new age. Right now we're in a transition period between ages, in the process of allowing the old cycle to fall away and the new to rise. Like driving in the fog and trusting the road will appear ahead, we need to release old identities and ways that no longer serve us, using our intuition as a compass. You are part of a group of souls who have been incarnating at significant periods of history, preparing for this exact time, dreaming a new world into being. Magdalene sisters, daughters of Isis, essences, priestess, witches, mystics, healers, seers, artists, midwives, visionaries, guardians of the earth, and storytellers of times past. You have been a guardian. You have been a visionary many lifetimes before. This is not your first rodeo. You have been a witch, a seer, a psychic medium several lifetimes ago. I know I had a previous lifetime in Egypt. I was a high priestess leading a group of people in a pyramid, and I had a healer that was right beside me, but I was there leading this huge temple, this huge pyramid I was giving a speech in. I have ancestry that links back to Egyptian times. Right now we're in a transition, like driving in the fog. We are dreaming a new world into being. This is a new era. We are now flying blind. The next card I pulled is from the Fairy Oracle. Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle is the Green Man's Bride, a mature wedding, and stolen in her sleep, unaware, unconscious, unawakened. The most powerful dreams and visions I've ever had is when I'm half awake, half asleep. Or if I'm walking and I'm hot and I get too hot, then I literally have a daydream and then I get a vision that's very strong. It's saying here, unable to remember dreams, feeling cut off from psychic abilities, unsure of whether the path you are drawn to follow is safe, feeling scared that you may be entering a dark realm, wishing to go home and to ascend before you have done the work on yourself. If this card has come to you, it is time to go deep within, to go into the earth and to understand that material transformation is spiritual. It is then that the gifts will be fully awakened. She's not being stolen from her slumber. She's being taken from a place of sleeping to who she is, to a place where she'll be awakened and return with the full consciousness of all that she is and all that is a gift indeed. A time of healing, reawakening her true self. She will awaken again and she'll realize it has been a long time since she was in the presence of life and offered up thanks for all that she's been given. She will see as though she's never seen before, her birdsong clearly with understanding. She will feel intensely and know that it is safe to do so. And with her rebirth will come a refresh, new beginning from the heart extending outwards to the world. And the next card is 38. Nothing can be taken from her. She has this inability. Her ability is a natural gift. No one can take that from her. There may be a wedding, an engagement, a betrothal, a hand-fasting, a commitment ceremony coming up for two people who are in love and who are ready to take the next step into their future as loving, wise partners joined in sacred union, extension of family, pondering children and growth together, contemplating the direction of a relationship and its future. When this takes place, the joy of commitment between the lovers extends to fertility into the land, the turning of seasons, blessings on earth, and great joy amongst the fairy folk, for they rejoice in love. Now the balance of masculine and feminine returns with this commitment to honour the other and to give and receive in love and honour in sacred space. Work with the sacred oil, spikenard. When this card comes up, it represents the exchange and honouring between masculine and feminine, the sacred union of partners deep in love and devoted, the proposal to develop a lineage, kindred ancestors of the future, and a new kind of family based on loving equality and honouring physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And that's all I have for you today for Earth signs. I will tell you a channeled message. This is specifically for a specific person. I have been reading the autobiography of Daniel Johns. It's called The Book of Daniel. It's written by a guy that writes for Rockstars, Ghostwriter. Jeff Apter wrote it back in 2018. It's an amazing account of his history, and I recently have been watching footage of him, watching old movies of his, reading his book, and I got an impression this morning. I dreamt about a pharmacy I was working in. I had a back room where I conducted massage and facials. I had a client who gave me 3 books, miniatures that I was given. I walked out of the pharmacy. That turned into a department store floor. I was looking to put a tester away. It was a Dior poison tester, and I ran into a Lara Worthington, and a bunch of other famous models, talking about their children who were 3 and 4 years of age. I think Megan Gale was one of them. I was then asked where I lived, and I told them that I lived in a small unit in Newcastle East, which means something, means I'm moving. My new address, I was extremely thin and I looked healthy. I was alone, and they asked me who I was seeing, and I told them no one. I'm single and too busy to meet anyone. And Daniel was in the room. As in, Daniel Johns was in the room. He was friends with one of them. Maybe he was friends with... He knew the party, the people, through Natalie and Bruglia. And that's what I got. Very strong message early hours this morning. So for someone out there who's a Taurus, maybe it's him, this message was sent.